Have you seen this?
Ready or Not feels like it shouldn't exist. As of the time of recording this, 4 years ago, ReadyorNot released its first teaser trailer in 2018. And I was still in high school. And I had never heard of police shooters before, basically. I'd never heard of SWAT 4. I didn't ever play the earlier Rainbow Six games. I don't have a huge amount of experience at that time. But as I grew older, I got a PC, and I got more into tactical shooters. Ready or Not hasn't released. A year after that announcement trailer, the supporter edition was available for purchase, and there was talks of getting a June beta in the year 2020. 2019, and the summer is when I first bought my PC, a gaming laptop which I regret buying. But later on, as COVID hit the United States, I bought the supporter edition, and I had access to the first alpha, and, well, it was silent. June beta never happened, and instead we had a total fustercluck of a PvP update. And for the most part, Void went silent. So we never thought Ready or Not would come. The people who spent $120 for the supporter edition had no clue that the game was even being made. Or did they? Because if you weren't part of the supporters, you had no clue what was going on. I was lucky enough to be part of the supporter Discord, but even then, there are many updates, and what they were talking about, there was no clear-cut answer from Void, the development team. And radio silence after the fiasco that there was the PvP update. It seemed like hope was gone. But December, of all months, in 2021, it just launched. Not the full game, but a whole new alpha came out. And I was excited. I was so glad to finally see it. Because of Ready or Not, I played SWAT 4, and I love SWAT 4. And now, Ready or Not exists in a playable form compared to the previous alpha. And I'm reminded of SWAT 4, and I just love it. It fixes almost, well, mainly graphics-wise on SWAT 4, because SWAT 4's gameplay was pretty alright. It modernized the gameplay of SWAT 4, and now we have SWAT 5, essentially. I'm not going to talk about how great it is or whatnot, because it's obvious it's great. If you've been paying attention to Ready or Not, you know it's good. It was so good that people wanted to throw $120 just to play the alpha. So good that Void couldn't get any more keys for the alpha, that they had to push the game to early access so that more people could play it. That's how good it was. So many people wanted to throw money at Void and play this game, and just by watching, it was amazing to see this very small dev team well, personally, I never really interacted because of the silence. Now I'm a little more active. I don't really talk to the devs like some of the other lucky ones. But I'm so glad to see that this has happened, and Ready or Not, I was personally invested, as I love what the devs are doing. And, because people love it, they talk about it. But I'm actually going to talk about something different. Something I feel that isn't getting enough attention. Ready or Not, from the start, has always been, how do I put this into words that make sense? Mature. I'm going to put quotations around that. But Ready or Not has been mature ever since that first teaser trailer, which hooked a lot of people, myself included. Because it was kind of controversial in what we saw. We saw very little in the first teaser trailer, and the gameplay trailer touched a bit on the atmosphere and the story that Ready or Not is supposed to have. And it does have that. It's hard to explain, but, there was that one section of the gameplay trailer hooked on a feeling. The feeling Ready or Not provides is amazing, and I don't feel enough people are talking about it. Now, I know I'm not like a big YouTuber or anything, so, you'll probably never know this existed. Hello to whoever watches this. But I feel that more people need to give Void love for for what they're telling. Like I said, mature. It is going for that theme of, a lot of people say, like, oh, this is what SWAT does. I think it falls more into umbrella category of police work. You can go through countless officers who deal with the reality of some of the shit they see and how that affects them. And Void is kind of capturing that in a sense. Of course, without proper voice acting, without a story, we can't see it fully. But already, just through environment, music, and certain gameplay elements, they hit that mark. I start with, the city we're at, the descriptions, talking about how shit the city is. That's great. It's a good acknowledgement of what they're telling it, a city that has gone under. But you play the SWAT team. You are the guys who are going in and you're gonna fix problems one at a time. That's essentially what you're doing, and that's the feeling that I personally get from Void, and that the city's a mess. It's your job to fix it. It's in one of the objectives, bring order to chaos. If that doesn't simplify it, I don't know what else. I don't know how more simplified you can go on this. But the music, the trailers, music in the trailers, Bach, Air on a G string. I hope I said that right. That was quite the choice for the atmosphere they were going for. And of course, the trailer itself, that captivates you, and that is definitely telling you that this is a not moral, but this is grounded in reality and isn't going to hold its punches with some of the things it's going to depict. And so let's get on to that. I'd say first thing first is the music, which I am playing in the background of this video. I think the action track is bad, but not in the sense that it doesn't sound good. I would listen to that on like my phone or some shit. The regular track that plays in the background, it's not loud, it's quiet, it's toned down, and it's very soothing. And so as you're playing, you're essentially like walking around slowly, where in a second you could die. Someone can die in a second, and I think the track is great. Zach is the music guy for Void. He has done an amazing job with these tracks, and I love it because when they said they were going to capture a feeling of a downtrodden city in America, they really are. And music is one of the first things you're gonna hear that helps push that. It's amazing, the music. I don't know how else to say it other than it's amazing, and I love it. I'm so glad that Zach was on board for Void, and he is continuing with that atmosphere, because it hits different. It hits good. Another element is storytelling through environment. My favorite map is actually Meth. Formerly Meth, now known as like Hogan's house or something, or not Hogan, that's Port Hogan. It's like House 113 or something. It's got a different name, but most people call it Meth because it's the one mission where there's meth present at current time, and it's a meth house, and they really gravitate that. It's dirty, it's filthy. I think there's like some decals of like flies going around. It's a filthy mess. One of the houses is just broken down and abandoned. They're two different things. It's a meth house. You can tell by visuals. While the character models aren't in yet, I think they are going to add in character models that fit in with each map, but just the storytelling of meth through the environment. If there were no enemies there and you walked around, you would think, if there was like no indicators of this being a meth house, you would think, wow, this is such a shitty house. Is this a meth house or something? Is this where the homeless go around? Homeless are in meth. In Los Sueños? I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. But I think one of the great things, I can't talk about the pre-alpha because of NDA, because I did purchase the game on Supporter Edition, which means I did sign an NDA. In a sense, can't talk about that, unfortunately, but I can talk about anything post-December update, which is Meth, the new iteration. I don't even think there was a Meth beforehand. I have no clue. I barely touched the alpha. But I think one of the strongest things is when I first played it, I played solo with the bots. This was before the better update, the bug fixes and changes that helped make the AI better and stuff like that. The SWAT AI was really bad. The AI acted weird. They still do, but I imagine that's going to fix next year. So in meth, you go upstairs and you're walking around. I'm clearing rooms with my buddies, with my teammates, the AI teammates, because I didn't play with anybody at the time. And you're clearing out. It's a fucking messy house. It's a meth house. There's shit thrown all on the floor. It's just a fucking mess. And that music is kicking in, and it helps. It just feels good. You're in that moment. You're in that atmosphere Void wanted to create that isn't like any other tactical shooter. You're in the boots of a SWAT officer in probably one of the most shittiest cities in America, and you're trying to fix things. It's hopeless, in a sense. And I remember there was a door that stood out to me that was white door. And I was like, alright, that's a nice looking door. The rest of the doors are like wooden. You know, they don't look fancy or anything. This door is painted, it's like recently painted, you know, stands out. So I pick up the mirror gun, I tell my guys to stack up, and I look through and I see, what the hell is a pink room? What's going on here? Where's this pink room, huh? What's going on here? I look around, there's someone doesn't have a gun, and there's someone in the bed, and I'm like, oh, you know, one, why are they still in the bed? We just used C2 downstairs, you know, and I shot a guy. They should be awake. But two, you know, just caught some meth head napping, essentially. So, I'm like, alright, let's just get in there. Person doesn't have a gun, so tell my AI to breach and clear the room, and they do, and then I walk up to the bed, and, well, it's a kid. Which catches me off guard because, well, why is there a kid here? When the mission starts, you can press tab, normal keybind, and it tells you your objectives. Bring order to chaos. Locate meth twice. Arrest 2 suspects. And then rescue all civilians. That's your objective. And the text beforehand, when you're selecting the mission, there's no indication. It's just barricaded suspects, and then a description saying, "Oh, it was a meth house." You know, nothing too amazing. And there's just a child. And what's worse is, this child is having a seizure. Or is it a seizure? Because it got me thinking later on, why is there a child with a bunch of meth heads? A bunch of meth heads who are armed and selling meth. Why is there a child with these meth heads? Why is this room painted pink so well? Why is this room well kept, unlike everything else? Is this meth house? Is this someone else's house, and the meth heads took the house from them? Is this child related to one of the suspects? How are they related? Why are they shaking? Did they inject them with meth? With other drugs? Is it a seizure caused by stress? Is it a seizure caused by some other medical condition? Are they helping the child? How is the child related? Is this someone's daughter? I think it's a girl. Could be a boy. The model's not that good. You know, why is there a child here? And it just kind of makes you think. And with everything else that's going on, with Void saying from the start that this is going to be dark, it's going to be mature, it's going to be realistic, it's not going to hold anything back. Even Modern Warfare 2019, where there was a child... I'm not going to go on a tangent, but Modern Warfare 2019, you can throw a flashbang in the crib, and then it restarts from the last checkpoint. You can also shoot the child later on in the interrogation whatever scene. But that doesn't work because it restarts. It never happened. Versus Ready or Not, there is a child currently dying in front of you, and all you can do is report it to TOC, stating you need EMTs, essentially. There's no new voice lines yet, and then you just continue on with the mission. In Ready or Not, and in SWAT 4, if you kill a civilian, there is no restart. in a sense. Like, you can continue the mission on knowing that you failed. And you kind of failed in rescuing civilians if there is a child on a bed dying. And then you think about why the child's there, and you're empathizing with the people that you are both arresting and killing and detaining. And there's not other games that are going to do that like Ready or Not. Ready or Not does things, and it does it well. Just the fact that there was a child having a seizure with no indication caught me off guard and made me think, and made me empathize with people who have the same voice line talking about a Latino maid or nice tattoos even though my guy has sleeves. That right there is a good atmosphere. That is good storytelling. Environmentally, I guess. And I just love Void for their approach to police work. In the gameplay trailer, they even said you're gonna interact with a lot of people. School children even. What else is next? What else are we gonna see? And Meth isn't the only house with that twist. Port Hogan on Raid, I think it was, there is a female it's pretty grisly. Maybe I should put some like content warning. Yeah, hold on. This is kind of grisly topic, and I don't have footage of it. I'm probably not putting footage of it in, but I am going to describe it. Not in detail. Now, this was kind of in the first trailer. You can see this as well, the first teaser trailer. But in Port Hogan, as you are looking around, there is a cargo container which you can open, and in it, and mind you, there's cargo containers that randomly have a banging thing. I don't know if it's a bug or a glitch or it is intentional, but I had it happen against other cargo containers. Against this one particular one, there is a woman who is stuck inside a cargo container, and she resembles Holocaust victims, famished beyond belief. And it's almost straight out of a documentary about the Holocaust. And again, there is no indicator that this is happening. You have your regular object, spring order chaos, rescue the civilians, locate a file, and then you just come across this. I think that's excellent. I'm not some genius writer, I don't consume a lot of stories, but I just love what Void has done, and I think it's excellent, and I'm glad that they're doing this, and I want them to continue doing this, because there's not going to be other games that do this. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019 said it was going to do this, and it didn't do this. It didn't feel sickened in a way. It's disgusting to kind of see, like, what is essentially a Holocaust survivor in a cargo container. And then, like I said before, it makes you think about these models in a computer game. And you think of them as people. Maybe I'm looking too much into this, but it feels a little different when, compared to other shooters where I dome a guy, it feels different where my objective isn't to kill everybody, it's to prevent the loss of life. The FBI hostage rescue team's whole motto, and I'm gonna look this up real quick, their whole motto is to save lives. And SWAT teams follow the same thing. They're not there to kill people, they're there to, well, one, stop crime, but two, minimize the loss of life. And so when you're playing with less than lethal weapon, you're risking your life and your buddy's life. And while this is in game, but it applies to real life. You're risking lives to save lives. Because not everybody is going to surrender. Not everybody is going to give up, even if you use less than lethal measures. And when you kill someone, you failed. You've failed your mission when people die. And the game shows you this in the terms of the score. The best score is nobody dies. And that helps play into the atmosphere, the theme, I don't know what to call it, but the it helps play into Ready or Not. I think I've gone on long enough about this tangent about telling you why I love Ready or Not's atmosphere, its theme. I don't know what to call it. But on top of gameplay, I love what Void is doing, and I can't wait for the next update. Hopefully, this video came out before the end of the year. And, well, let's just say I was never ready for this. That was cringe. Can we do a different one?
911 emergency.